Just give me a second, guys, just while I share this round. I'll put it in the chat so then the guys know. Wrong league, nearly. Don't. Just give me 1 sec. Just got my phone on charge. There we go. It should be on charge now. There we go. So yes, guys, welcome to Friday night. Yes, it is Friday, of course it is. What day else would it be? But yes, it is the penultimate round of this season's Chell Lawman Motorsport WTSC, brought to you by Eldar Racing. And yes, it is the legendary, or the one and only Hoppers in the commentary box. How are we doing this evening, or morning, or afternoon, depending on where you are watching the stream, guys? And we are stateside for the penultimate round of the championship at the WeatherTech Raceway at Laguna Seca. And I tell you what, the infamous corkscrew is going to claim some fantastic action, or some major, well, I'm not going to say major issues, but probably some very close races. I believe Dale is now back in the Mustang. I think he swapped from the Lexus RCF that he was racing for the majority of the season when he came back, but he's now in the Mustang, which is fair play. I think he's gone back to the Mustang, so you know, it's fair enough. It's not really a major issue. It's how he obviously feels, you know, within that. I believe Rasmus is just had a bit of a disconnection, so we'll wait for him to come back. So as I say, we are stateside. We're at the infamous Laguna Seca circuit. It is a very interesting circuit itself. I've raced around here, I've even commentated around here dozens of times now, and it is a very fast flowing circuit, especially going into the likes of Andretti, the corkscrew, and obviously the Rahal Straight. But tonight it is all about the penultimate round of the races, so to say, not rounds, because there is one round left at Bathurst Mount Panorama next week, which is going to be an absolute classic. I can't wait to see how well the guys adapt to the mountain next week. It is going to be very close. But here tonight it is about a 5-point deficit between the likes of Noah, aka Motorstorm Hero, and of course Brian Moncani, who is in the, obviously Noah's in the Hyundai Genesis, but Brian is in the Nissan GTR, so it's between them. I believe Rasmus is also in contention for the title. There is quite a few drivers up for potentially snatching the crown, but tonight they've got to really get the heads down, knuckle down, because you don't want to make a mistake around here. And yes, with Bathurst being the epic season finale, that is also going to be a challenge, because obviously with it being the mountain, the infamous mountain in Australia, it is going to be very close. But tonight, what do we think is going to happen? I reckon we're going to see quite a very tense fight between the GTRs and of course the Hyundai Genesis of Noah. I think Noah is only going to be the only piloted Genesis now, because Brucey Collins now has gone on to work on Friday evening, so he's not going to be racing, which is a bit unfortunate really, because it was looking like Brucey Collins was setting the pace early on in the season, getting that likes to flag victory at Alsace in the opening round of the championship, and then a couple of race wins there, and then picking up obviously the podium. But it's going to be very interesting to see how well people go this evening as Nuno gets it all crossed up going down the hill from the corkscrew. But nevertheless, he's in the Subaru WRX. It is going to be a very close and obviously a 10-lap encounter for each race this evening. We do have the 10 minutes of qualifying at 7:45 UK time. That will be, I think Nuno's got slightly lost there. I think he thought the pit lane was there, but it's not. But obviously, you know, looking at what, you know, with the early title charge of Brucey Collins was going to be very matchable, but it is looking likely now that there's only going to be one Genesis on the grid. But nevertheless, we do have a fantastic night of racing. It all depends on certain bits and pieces. I think we do hopefully look forward to certain things. I think Nuno's still trying to find his way back to the track. I don't know exactly what he's trying to do, but that isn't the pit lane. But hopefully he realises it isn't, unless he's had a bit of a malfunction. But it's a bit weird. But hopefully we'll see what the drivers can do. I think the likes of obviously Nate Fletcher's missing, so there's only going to be one BMW M4, and that is Jamie Hillman's, the Tixco liveried BMW M4. The BMW M4s came on strong last week at Tag so you know it was quite a very evenly matched. It kind of was a 2-horse race. Brian Moncani got the double, and then I think, just trying to remember what happened in race 3, I think there was quite a lot of argy-bargy in race 3, which seemed to be a very equally sort of near enough matched for the season. Obviously, you know, it's been very close. The BMWs have come on song throughout the latter half of the season. Obviously Nuno got, I think he got a win in the Subaru, if I remember rightly. I believe it, yeah, Finley Osler obviously in the Mustang, the Monster Energy Mustang. He got a race win. Oscar Stevenson has had a race win in the McDonald's Mustang. So, you know, the Mustangs have been thereabouts, but it's all been about the Genesis and the GTR. It seems one of them will win, or the other one will take a race win. So, variations with the cars. At the moment, we've got 6 people on the grid. Looking at the grid, it's only looking like 6 people, but I believe Brian Moncani will be on his way very shortly. Just need to check if everyone else is going to be there around, but we'll just have a look for the time being. So we're not far away from qualifying actually kicking off very soon, but it should be a very good night of racing. It is going to be very carefully picked out. I think the Rooster, that is the Aussie Rooster, Andrew Ostler, Finley's dad, obviously driving the Mitsubishi Evolution. He hasn't really got adaptable to it, but it's okay, mate. I know you are. It's fine. I'm not rushing you, mate. I'm just saying. I'm actually in the process of giving people a bit of background about you, my friend. But it's fine. But we'll see how well Andrew can do this evening. He is obviously not been happy with being back in 4-wheel drive from what he was saying, but you know, he has been thereabouts. He has been on the podium a few times this season, so the Repsol Mitsubishi Evolution 10, he's going to be thereabouts. He is looking forward to see, I hope he's looking forward to seeing what he can do around here. It is a very difficult track to get right, especially with going into the corkscrew. It is going to be one of them, but hopefully we get to see how well people do. So it is now going to be 7, it could be 8 drivers, but we'll see exactly what is going to happen for but we'll see exactly. Could be actually 9 because Oscar is now joined, but we'll see exactly if it is going to be thereabouts. But looking at exactly what's going to happen, the times at the moment though for testing are a 127.5 at the moment, so it's thereabouts. It's not roughly so we'll see if the Australian Bush is going to be racing. He I think he missed a few races, but hopefully he's back on the grid tonight. It'd be good if he was back at Bathurst as well for his home race, but we'll soon find out. But at the moment then, looks like Noah's setting the pace, so Oscar in the McDonald's Mustang. So there's 3 Mustangs. I think Dale has been allowed to swap to the Mustang because he was struggling with the Lexus RCF, so it's only fair that he has something that's very adaptable. But it's going to be very close, especially with this 10-minute qualifying session that we do have, and then obviously 3 10-lap races tonight. But it is going to be very close. It looks like Nuno's gone purple in that sector up towards the corkscrew. We shall see how he adapts the corkscrew in the Subaru WRX. It has had a bit of a tweak. Last season it was eating its tyres quite a bit, but now it shouldn't do. But obviously with it being 4-wheel drive, it's a very easy car to get off the line, but not the best to try and undulate the corners. But at the moment he was purple, so we'll see what he does in practice. He's about to cross the line anytime soon, so he goes a 127.466, so he goes fastest at the moment in free practice. But it is going to be very close to see how fantastic these guys will get. Jamie's trying to push that BMW all the way to his degree, with Dale currently he's done a 128.678 is his fastest time, so he'll get there in the Mustang, probably slowly getting back to adaptable because he did drive this one last season, so he's looking forward to seeing what he's going to do this time round. Hopefully it's a better night of racing for him, but nevertheless he is going to see how well he does this evening. We've got Rasmus on run at the moment in the Castrol Rick Kelly inspired GTR, the Dane, currently 129.1 at the moment in testing, so he's 4th fastest at the moment. It's probably 4th fastest, maybe thereabouts with some of the guys' times, but he's pushing on quite a bit there. He's going to try and cross the line, try to smash that time a bit, so he goes 128.380 at the moment, so he's pushing his way up further to try and push on. But it may be 9 drivers this evening, so it's going to be very good to see exactly what's going to happen. But it could be very close. It does look like just going to wait for Brian to come into the lobby. Not far off yet, but we've got around about 5 minutes till qualifying, so it will be very close indeed. But as I say, it is going to be thereabouts. We'll try and keep up to date. Also tonight we do have GT Supercars. Yes, that is right, GT Supercars. With the host with the most, Malk will be doing the commentary for that. I believe they are at St. Croix on the B circuit, so if you want to join GT Supercars, it is on the Eldar Sim YouTube channel. You've got the best of both worlds, so you've got GT Supercars, which is GR3 specification, or GT3 if you are in real life terms, with Malcolm Margard doing the commentary. He is a very likeable commentator as much as me. He does the GT Supercars, just to put that out there. He is absolutely on the money with his commentating, especially with his 3 in the bed and 2 in the bed situations, with cars going almost 3 wide, maybe 2 wide, and he actually does quite a stellar job. God knows how he manages to keep his voice during the commentary. He's absolutely on the money for that. So you've got GT Supercars, and then you've got myself, Hoppers, doing WTSC, which it's going to be a very interesting night of racing, because both championships are coming down to the sharp end. They are coming down to the last 2 rounds of the championship with the last 6 races of the season. I'll tell you what, it is going to be very close in both leagues from what I've heard. But nevertheless, we will see how tonight goes for both leagues. But here at Laguna Seca then, stateside for the WTSC for the penultimate round of the championship. Proudly sponsored by Chell, Lawman, Motorsport of both leagues. So without her sponsorship, we would not be racing. So thank you for your continued support, and hopefully we provide you some great, interesting racing. So we'll see exactly what is going to happen for round here tonight for the penultimate round of WTSC. I believe Brian Moncani was telling me in the week he was a bit unhappy with what happened at Sardinia last week. Speaking of Brian, Belgian, he was a bit upset after a few issues, but he's managed to hopefully forget about them issues and move on for tonight, and literally push that Henry Pescarolo inspired livery GTR. Well, it's the colours of Henry Pescarolo. So he's told me a bit about that last week, which I found quite an interesting fact. So hopefully the GTR will push on, but we'll see exactly what's going to happen. I'm just looking at the time, so we're around 2 minutes before qualifying. I'm not too sure if Bush is going to make it tonight, which is a bit of a shame really, because it would have been nice to see him on the grid. But hopefully we get a very close qualifying session. It is going to look like, from what I see, the clouds are looming overhead, and it is going to be very close, and maybe a close proximity battle, but we'll see exactly what's going to happen for qualifying. It is going to be very close. We are moments away, so we'll see exactly what's going to happen. I think Jamie's just waiting to get the authorization to start qualifying, so we'll see exactly how well tonight goes. But we should be in for fantastic battles. It is going to be thereabouts, so it is going to literally start a minute ahead, but so around about maybe roughly 1 second ahead of time. But it's now 7:45, so we are good to go. We actually are starting on time, so we'll see exactly what is going to happen. So we'll just double check everyone goes out pit lane okay. It is a long pit lane. People will say, why can't we go off to the right hand side? Well, the pit lane is all the way down the bottom of the hill at Andretti. It's not how it used to be back in the day, but I believe everyone is out. So Nuno leads them away then, followed by Jamie and of course Oscar, Noah, Dale and of course Brian. I think that was also Rasmus. Also thereabouts. He's just there in the Rick Kelly inspired GTR, so we'll see how well he does tonight. The Rooster still there in 8th, and the Sun also is just behind him, so we'll be keeping a close eye on what's going to happen in the tight 10-minute qualifying session of the evening. Then it is going to be thereabouts, but I think we had literally quite a very close battle, but nevertheless we shall see exactly what is going to happen for the qualifying session here at Laguna Seca. So 8.5 minutes left then. They're just out on their warm-ups just to get heat and tyre temperature. Some do tend to dive in pit lane to get quicker, more tyres on, but it obviously depends on the wear. But at the moment they will be pushing on. Then we'll see exactly what Noah can do. Title contender then, chasing after his first Friday night title. Came through the latter half of the season last time out in the GoldenEye inspired BMW M4, taking over from Martin Cochran last season. But he's now obviously in the Hyundai Genesis in the Milky Way. He's done that for himself. Goes a bit wide there. Doesn't want to be doing that too much because that will hamper his time. He's clipped a mark post in the process. But it could be very interesting. We'll see what Nuno George can do then in the Subaru WRX, the Portuguese driver. A very likeable character as well is Nuno, I must say. But he is going to push on. Is he going to stick the car on pole position, or is he going to get chased by the chasing pack? Goes into the infamous corkscrew. Very easy to make mistakes into the corkscrew because it is a blind corner, and we've seen a few incidences in the past at the corkscrew, especially in the early days of the Porsche Cayman Super Cup, which most of you guys may have known around here in the early days of Eldar Racing. But it is now down to seeing what likes of Nuno and of course Jamie can do. Penalties have to be taken on the lap to get, but Nuno goes a 128.4 at the moment. Brian Moncani though pips him to a 128.1, so that's very close to see exactly what Brian can do. He's thereabouts, but it looks like then Oscar up into third then, so the McDonald's Mustang 128.5 at the moment, and Dale 128.6 at the moment, so that's a very good lap time from Dale in his body armour Mustang. I think he's been allowed to change that, with of course Jamie down in fifth at the moment. So it's Brian Moncani then, championship protagonist in the GTR at the moment, setting the pace then. Is he going to push on? Is he going to be able to he's been telling me he wants to push on. There's been a bit of a wild moment there. Who was that? I think that was between Rasmus and of course Noah, but they are both getting a toe off each other at the moment, both first and third in the championship, I believe. So they're trying to latch onto each other and get the toe off each other going into the infamous corkscrew. But it could be very close. Noah gets a bit crossed up there. That may cost him a bit of time. He's down. He's actually on his time. He's actually 1.3 seconds in that sector. Jamie goes into pit lane now, so 5.5 minutes left of the penultimate qualifying session of the season. Our Nathan Rombach has joined, so we will have to reset the grid. I didn't realise he was coming, so we'll try and get the grid sorted. I will drop him a message. Rasmus up into third then, Noah up into fourth, so we'll see exactly how well that goes for this evening. So we'll see how well it goes. But we'll see how close it gets. 4 minutes and 20 seconds left. I do apologise. I was just trying to sort something out at the same time. So we did start a bit ahead. We did start a minute ahead and we didn't realise he was coming in, so it's basically my fault. I didn't realise it was 44 minutes to, well, 6 minutes to 8. I didn't realise that. But Nuno George then picks Brian Moncani at the moment with a 128.140. Oscar up into fourth then. He's picked who's he pipped there? He hasn't pipped Noah. I do apologise. Noah has now gone into pole position 127.808. but we'll see exactly what's going to happen. But I believe it is going to be thereabouts, but hopefully it will carry on. So we'll see exactly what's going to happen for a lot of things. It looks like Noah straight away though, straight out the blocks to get that valuable extra point for pole position at the moment. So he's got his title nemesis Brian Morgani in third place at the moment, so he's still fastest in that sector, but it could be so we'll see exactly what's going to happen. So it could be very close, but seeing exactly what's going on at the moment. 2 minutes left then, just about. So Noah goes thereabouts. We'll see how quick Nuno can go then, because he is around a lot of interest, and I believe we've got a Finley Osler fan in watching the race. There he is. He's 8th fastest at the moment. And just to give you a rough idea just while we do that, I'm going to quickly do something just in case the order doesn't change. Just bear with me 1 second, guys. I'm not stopping the stream, I'm just doing something very quickly just in case we need the grid. So we'll see exactly what's going to happen for obviously tonight's racing. So we will see exactly what's going to happen with a minute and just a minute to go then in qualifying. We'll see exactly what's going to happen. We're just going to try and get Nathan Rombout into the lobby. He came a bit later than planned, but Brian Morgani then 1:28.060, which pushes him up into second then. So he's pipped Nuno George to second place at the moment. And there's no one that can beat Finley. Yeah, we'll see. You never know, mate. He's 8th fastest at the moment, so we'll see exactly what's going to happen. But at the moment then, so it is Brian Morgani who is second then. 20 seconds left, so we're going to have to reset the grid, which is going to be thereabouts, but it is going to be very close. We've got the Rooster down in 9th place at the moment, so that's a bit of a shame for him. But it is going to be very closely equally matched. So qualifying now has got their final laps up and running, but we'll see exactly what's going to happen. We are going to have to restart and get the grid because with Nathan joining a bit later than planned, but hopefully it should be okay. But I will be keeping an eye on what is going on for qualifying. But just give me 1 second. But it looks like Rasmus is there. Brian Morgani 1:27.8 at the moment, right at the end then, so he's not fast enough to get up to of course Noah's lap time, but we should be hopefully good to go for race number 1 very shortly. But at the moment then, it could be very close to see exactly what's going to happen. Brian Morgani in second then. Is Noah going to be able to get away from the likes of Brian for the time being? I'm just going to quickly get this screenshot for the grid, and I'll send it to Jamie so then he can or get it onto the lap times. But it looks like at the moment then Noah takes that provisional pole position, providing no one can take it away from him. But we're going to have to restart the grid then, so we'll see exactly what's going to happen. But it is going to be thereabouts. But hopefully we can get a good night of racing, but it's going to look very difficult to start off. Very thereabouts, but we'll see exactly what's going to happen between Noah and of course Brian Mulcahy, both championship protagonists. But it is looking likely at the moment. Then there's a few drivers like Rasmus is in pit lane at the moment, so he's going to be thereabouts, but we'll see what's going to happen. Just while we sort technical difficulties out for getting the grid, so it is going to be very close to see what is going to happen. I think Rasmus is just going to let the time just wind down, but we are going to have to restart and get the grid. So it will be very close. So we'll see exactly what's going to happen. So we'll see how quickly it's going to go, but we'll see exactly what's going to happen. Hopefully the guys will back out very soon, just to make some runbouts on the grid, because he was a bit late, but we will get him on the grid. I think everyone is going to be backing out, so we will get a race restart. So I'm just going to get Jamie the grid. Just bear with me 1 second, guys. Sake. I think that's right. I can't remember. It should be right. Do apologise, but this guy's just trying to sort out the grid for race number 1, but my phone's died, so I can't really check the grid. So we'll see exactly what's going to happen. I do apologise. So it's like the rooster needs to nip to the bathroom. So as I say, I do apologise, my phone died, so I was just setting up for the grid, so I do apologise, guys. So we'll see exactly what's going to happen. So hopefully you guys can hear me on stream, but we are going to be good to go very shortly for race number 1, so I do apologise for the lateness getting this race underway. It's what happens when we do have obviously latecomers to the race, or someone ends up disconnecting. But from what I heard, Nuno says damage is light, but I don't know how you've managed to think it's light, mate, because it's always there. But we'll see exactly what's going to happen. But it should be a very good night of racing. I'm looking forward to seeing what race number 1 is going to bring. I think Jamie's just getting the grid sorted. So we'll see exactly what is going to happen. So we're just going to see how close things go. So we are ready to go then for... So race 1 comes now, so no, we're not going to restart qualifying. It is just getting straight into race 1. It is just exactly just resetting the grid, just because we need to get an extra person in, which can be a bit frustrating, especially when you try and get the grid, because I know how itching everyone gets for racing. But we are good to go, so we are getting ready to see exactly what's going to happen. So it's going to be thereabouts. I'll try and go on board with Noah if I can. It's looking like with the camera option here. At the moment we'll see exactly how quick we're going to go. Who's going to get the jump into turn number 1 then? Let's go, lights out, and away we go. For race number... gosh knows how many, but it's round number 6, so I've lost count on how many races we've done already. But it looks like Nuno George is already on the attack to Brian Montgomery, going in towards Andretti for the first time then. So it looks like Brian's trying to get back into second place at the moment. His best mate Nathan Brumbolt is at the tail of the field in that pesky little Toyota GT86. It is a very quick car. It is actually very underrated. It's not been used much in the championship this season, but Brian Montgomery will try and catch up to Noah. Noah straight away out of the box, then clean lap opening sector, but Brian Montgomery clips the curb. We'll see exactly what's happening further back. It looks like Finley's trying to get closer up to Oscar Stevenson, the other Mustang, the Matt Dons versus the Monster. And his dad, Finley's dad is right behind him at the moment, trying to push on for that 9th place, at the 8th place should I say, with Nathan Rumboltz trying to catch up to this group. He's obviously trying to use that Toyota GT86, trying to get thereabouts. He's obviously struggled to drive it at the moment, but looking at this, the father and son battle is dueling, going out towards the end of the lap then. So Brian Montgomery up into first place then. I don't know how he managed to get there, but this will be good for his championship credentials, but it won't be if Noah gets more points. But it's almost 3 wide. There would like some Nuno and of course Rasmus Oren and of course Dale. These two have got to be careful. Rasmus actually got disqualified at Sardegna last week for some contact in I believe it was race number 1 or race number 2, so he actually got disqualified. The stewards found him at fault, so he's got to be very careful because he can't afford to have that hanging over him this evening. With Dale up into 3rd, then Dale is adapting to that Mustang very well, but what has happened to Finley is dropped down to 9th. I think his dad actually overtook him, so Finley is 9th at the moment with Nathan Rombouts, the other Belgians. So the Belgians are top of the field and at the rear of the field at the moment, but Finley and Nathan Rombouts having a bit of a battle there. The Mustang versus the little Toyota GT86 up towards the Rahal straight, and Nathan's flashing the lights at Finley saying not on your life sunshine, but we'll try and catch the battle with them. It looks like he's trying to catch up. The Mustang versus the Toyota versus the Mitsubishi at the moment with I believe, who is that? Jamie's got a 5-10 penalty. That is going to go against him if he's not careful. But Nuno and of course Dale, they're still battling, but it looks like Rasmus is trying to catch them up. He's getting the GTR thereabouts, but Brian Mulcahy has that GTR. We've got gone on to lap number 3 then, out of 10. This is the first of 10 lap races, 3 10-lap races tonight, so Jamie has to, I think he's took his penalty, but I don't know whether he took it a bit late or not, but he's lost a place to Oscar Stevenson there. That is going to be very closely looked at. But Nuno George then up into 3rd at the moment with Dale Griffiths trying to push that body armour Mustang further up the grid. He's trying to get thereabouts, but looking exactly what's going to happen. We'll just change the camera around slightly, but looking exactly what's going to happen. We think Dale's going to try and push back up into that 3rd place, but he's got to be very careful. But in the meantime, the battle for the race lead has come down to 0.7 of a second between Brian and of course Noah. Noah goes a bit wide there, but he's still got that momentum. Is he going to be able to catch up to Brian? They're both championship rivals at the moment to see who is going to take the coveted trophy at the end of the season. I'll tell you what, it will be an enthralling battle. right to the end. We have got roughly around, after this race, 5 races left of the championship. Brian Mulcahy runs a bit wide though, keeps that GTR well pinned, but it looks like at the moment there is the battle for 3rd, maybe 4th and 5th at the moment, seems to be thereabouts, but Oscar is still latching on to trying to catch up to these group. He's trying to get thereabouts. He's 6th place at the moment, Jamie 7th, Rooster in 8th then. Finley's still 9th at the moment, and Nathan Robout in 10th place at the moment. He seems to be slowly adapting to that Toyota GT86. He's not had much running in it this season, but he's now come back for another race tonight. But Brian Mulcahy at the moment, fastest lap so far, 127.689 at the moment. He's thereabouts with Noah rather, I do apologise. With Noah trying to catch him up. Noah's got a bit of an issue there. He's got to be careful because Brian Mulcahy will not take lightly to any contact. These two actually have had quite a lot of dices this season as Noah gets a bit sideways out of that corner there, with Nuno still there in 3rd place at the moment, but the battle is still raging for 1st place as we are about to go onto half distance then. Brian Mulcahy still leading the way out of the corkscrew they go then, so it's going to be very close. Noah, why do I keep calling him Oscar? It's because Oscar's in 6th place at the moment, but Noah is there in 2nd place at the moment. He's got a 5-10 penalty. He's going to have to get rid of that. Not really the place to take it, I don't think, but he's lost ground to Nuno George now, so Nuno's up into 2nd place. Noah looked like he actually slammed on the brakes as well to get rid of that penalty very quickly. But Dale's still there in 4th place at the moment, with Rasmus Omren chasing him down. The Castro GTR versus the Mustang. Looks like Noah's trying to get up to Nuno. Nuno's trying to think not on your life, sunshine. The battle's still raging on between the pair of them. It looks like Jamie's got back past Oscar for that 6th place at the moment, with Oscar trying to push on. That McDonald's Mustang clips that curb, the sausage curb clips him onto 2 wheels roughly. The Rooster in 8th place then, followed by Finley and of course Nathan Rombout. Oh, he's gone off wide. There's Nathan Rombout, so he's got to be careful. That little nimble Toyota GT86 is thereabouts, but he's down in 10th place at the moment, which means he will start on pole position for race number 2 if he enters race number 2 tonight, because it is a reverse grid and a standing start for race number 2 and 3, but race number 3 is a rolling start. But Nuno is currently trying to get back into 2nd place from Noah. Noah is going to try and push on to his title nemesis. He's thereabouts. He's trying to take the fastest lap away from Brian Mulcahy at the moment, but the Belgian holding on for the race lead at the moment, and about to start lap number 6. It still seems a long way to go. Dale up into 4th, then Jamie 5th now. Rasmus Omren with that 5-10 penalty, so he's took it correctly, but he's got to be very careful that he doesn't push on. But obviously getting rid of your penalties will hamper your position, so he's got the Rooster chasing him down now, so the Repsol Evolution chasing after the GTR then. Finley still in 8th for Nathan Rombout's 10th for the moment. Brian Mulcahy though still leading the way, but Noah's stolen that point for the fastest lap at the moment with a 127.6 at the moment, so that's going to be very close. He's still purple, so he's trying to push on, trying to get the fastest lap in this race. He wants to capitalise in getting pole position and the fastest lap, but it all depends on certain bits and pieces between the guys. It is very close to see exactly what's going to happen, but Nuno's still in there with their place, but has Noah caught with Brian Mulcahy slightly. It's only 0.9 of a second between the pair of them. It's now jumped up to 1 second, but Noah is going to be a well-established title contender. He is thereabouts into the corkscrew for the 6th time in race number 1. Nuno's still there in 3rd then. Dale still in 4th place at the moment. This is actually a stronger showing from Dale. We will be happy, especially with him being back in the Mustang for the latter half of the season. Jamie in the BMW in 5th place then, still pushing on in the Texaco BMW, touched the dirt there slightly. Oscar in 6th place then, followed by Rasmus and then the Rooster, and then of course Finley and of course Nathan Rombout at the tail of the field. But looking at what's going on into lap number 7, slightly has Brian Mulcahy lead the race from Noah at the moment then, so both title contenders are thereabouts. Brian's gonna try and push on. The Belgian trying to push on, trying to bring that points gap down. It is a 5-point gap at the moment between the pair of them. At the moment, because of the appeal that Brian Mulcahy had for his penalty at Sardegna. So it's going to be very careful to see exactly what's going to happen. But Noah is catching him quite a few seconds now, but Brian's still eking out that gap to try and maintain that race lead. With around 3 laps to go, Nuno is still there in third place at the moment. Dale is still there fourth. Jamie's trying to squirm his way out of that corner. That BMW does not look happy at the moment, but obviously, you know, got lots of Oscar and Rasmus trying to catch them up. But the Rooster's actually doing quite a stellar job trying to catch them up. I know he's a bit far back, but Finley's there in ninth, followed by Nathan Roberts. I think Nathan's just trying to steadily get back to grips with Toyota, but Brian Mulcahy's getting caught by Noah for that first place. At the moment, it looks like the battle could go down to the final couple of laps, so 2 laps to go in this race. Then it is going to be very carefully picked out, but it all depends on this battle. The pair of them, obviously, like I say, championship protagonists. Noah's trying to go for a move into Andretti. Brian Mulcahy closes the door, says, "Not on your life, sunshine. I want to try and get this race win. I want to try and bring the gap down as best as I can to try and catch up." But at the moment, it is going to be very close between the pair of them. It will be a very hard tussle and a hard fight, because these two have both battled for the championship lead throughout the season. I'll tell you what, Nuno is still there in third place at the moment. Dale's still in fourth at the moment, doing a stellar job. Jamie's still there in, of course, but it looks like Rooster has got up into seventh. Then he's got past Oscar. Rasmus is trying to get past Jamie. He's got to be very careful, because he can't afford any rapid mistakes, but they're both sparking on the ground there going out of that turn. But it looks like the battle for the race lead is getting very closer and closer. It's now 0.4 of a second. This is getting very close between the two championship rivals. It could be that Noah is trying to just pin his moment to try and get past that GTR. The GTR is at the moment trying to push on. Noah runs wide out on the final turn. He's back on, but he's got to be very careful to see what he's going to do, because he's onto the penultimate lap. Then he's still got the fastest lap, but is Brian Mulcahy going to concede? Noah goes onto the outside. What a stellar battle between the pair of them, but Brian still has that edge. He's trying to get there. Noah goes a bit onto the dirt. Doesn't want to be clipping up the sands around here. He's got to be very careful around here. Nuno's still there in third at the moment, with Dale fourth. Jamie still fifth. Rasmus in sixth. Then Rooster still seventh, with Oscar chasing him down. Finley ninth, and of course Nathan Roberts in 10th place at the moment. But with a lap to go after this, Brian Mulcahy will try and hold on for dear life. So we'll see exactly what is going to happen. But it looks like Brian Mulcahy is going to try and push on to get away from Noah. Noah is still there. He's got that Genesis trying to go all the way to try and get thereabouts. It is going to be very closely pit to see what Noah is going to do. Brian obviously knows exactly how to win races. He's won multiple races. He's actually been a few interesting talking points of the season, as well as other seasons in Eldar Sim. You know, he's a likeable character. Noah's trying to push him all the way now to start the final lap then of race number 1. But it looks like Brian is going to defend like mad. Is he going to try and get the overlap? Noah's trying to do that famous move that he tried to do yet again, but they're almost side by side, taking each other's door mirrors to the paint shop, because they will both have a lick of paint, white and pink paint on each other's wing mirror. But it could be thereabouts. We'll see exactly what's going to happen. We'll try and see what happens in a moment or two. Nuno's still there. Dale's still trying to catch him up slightly. Jamie in 5th then. Rasmus in 6th, with the Rooster 7th. Oscar trying to catch him up. Finley still there in 9th place at the moment. Nathan in 10th. But I tell you what, the battle for the race lead to get the race victory for race number 1. It is between Noah and Brian Morgani, both championship rivals. I thought it was going to end in disaster then. I thought they were going to take each other out. It looks like Brian and Noah would almost taking each other out. But I'll tell you what, that could have easily gifted Nuno a victory. But Brian Morgani, he is going to be absolutely delighted with taking a race win tonight in the first race. He will want to keep that momentum going for the next race. He will be at the back of the grid though for the next race, because he will be starting in around 10th place, because of obviously with the reverse grid. But Brian Morgani comes through the final corner then to take an absolute astounding drive. Noah pushes him all the way, but has to settle for second. Nuno in third, then Dale in fourth, followed by Jamie, followed by Rasmus, and then of course Oscar, and then of course the Rooster. I think the Rooster had a bit of an issue, and then obviously Finley in ninth then, and Nathan Rombout sadly in 10th place after kicking a bit of the dirt and a bit of the gravel at the end. But nevertheless he fights for another day. But it does look like, you know, Brian Morgani will be, I don't know whether he'll be exhausted, but he will be absolutely delighted with getting a race win, and it seems to be very close. But fair play to him, you know, he's got the first win of the night. But you know, is he going to be able to make it 2 wins from 2? But that's going to all depend. So quickly get the race results. It is going to be thereabouts, but let's see exactly what is going to happen. But we'll get the race results there, and we'll check exactly what's going on. But it should be thereabouts to a bit of an interest. But just give me a second. So Brian Morgani takes the win, followed by Noah, then followed by Nuno. Dale fourth in the Mustang. I think he's obviously going to be delighted with that. Jamie fifth, Rasmus in 6th place, followed by Oscar in 7th, followed by the Rooster, followed by Finley, followed by Nathan Robots. Fastest lap then goes to Noah on lap number 7 with 1:27.6. I'll tell you what, it is going to be very close to see exactly what's going to happen, but we'll see exactly what's going to happen for race number 2. But race number 2 will be but it's going to be very close indeed. But it's going to be very carefully to see exactly what's going to happen. We'll see exactly what's going to happen for because it is going to be thereabouts. But hopefully a race number 2 is going to be thereabouts. So race 2 will now begin at so race number 2 is going to be around just after 8:30. So we'll see exactly what's going to happen. It is going to be a reverse grid, but hopefully we shall see exactly what's going to happen. So we'll see what's going to happen for race number 2 then. Race number 2 is going to be very interesting indeed. It will be another 10 lap encounter. So we'll see how well things go. But we should be good to go very soon. But the infamous corkscrew is going to be very close, but as you can tell by the weather conditions now, it is bright sunshine. It has got a bit brighter over here at Laguna Seca. We'll see exactly how things go. It is going to be thereabouts, but it could be thereabouts. But we'll see exactly what's going to happen. We'll see exactly what's going to happen. But we'll see exactly how things go for race number 2. We'll see exactly what's going to happen. So we'll see exactly what's going to happen for race number 2. But in the meantime, we'll see how things go for the rest of the night. We are going to be looking forward to seeing if Nathan Robots can convert a pole position into excuse me, into a race victory. But we'll see how things go, because Finley is alongside him. So we'll see exactly what's going to happen. So I believe everyone will be ready very shortly. But we'll see exactly what's going to happen. But we should be good to go. So we'll see how quick everyone can go. At the moment, yeah, it's practice at the moment, but we're just getting ready for race number 2. Yes, I do apologise, I wasn't keeping you informed. I was trying to sort something out. I do apologise. But we'll see how well we go. That's Nathan Rombouts then, followed by Finley, followed by, of course, the Rooster. So far from some almost share the same row of the grid, but it is going to be very close. I can't really see from this angle what the camera angle is, but trying to see exactly what's happening, what revs are building then. So we're going to see exactly what's going to happen for race number 2. Who's going to get a decent start? It looks like Nathan Roberts has been swamped already into looks like 8th place at the moment, but it looks like it's getting very tight. The likes of Oscar and of course Finley and of course the Rooster, so it's thereabouts. But Jamie's up into 4th then, Rasmus and of course Nuno, followed by Brian Moncani, Noah and Dale. It's getting a bit topsy-turvy. Nathan Rombouts, I do feel sorry for him. He's dropped down to 10th place at the moment, so he's not having a good night in that Toyota GT86. But it looks to me like he's pulled off, so he's not really going to be happy with that. But it's a bit unfortunate really, because he's been swamped. But you know, at the end of the day, it looks like the likes of Oscar, Finley and his dad nearly make contact. That wouldn't be very good, it wouldn't be very talkative at the family dinner table. But going into the corkscrew, got to be really careful. This is getting close and a bit silly at the same time, because it's not really doable there. But Rasmus up into 4th then, Noah 5th, James 6th for that penalty. It goes skating across the dirt and the sand. Nuno is thereabouts, but he's got Dale alongside him, Brian Mulcahy as well. But it looks like it could be very interesting. Oscar sets the fastest lap and gets the point for leading the lap then. Finley's chasing down, so the Mustangs are putting a good show. Rasmus and the Rooster, oh my goodness, that was almost. But Noah also gets that move done. 2 cars for 1. Two cars for 1 against the Rooster. But looks like there's going to be a lot of battles. Jamie still has that penalty hanging over him. I think it's going to be a bit unfortunate. Brian Moncani 7th, Nuno in 8th then, with Dale 9th for the moment, but Oscar still leads the race then. This is exactly how things go, but now he gets a bit crossed up there, trying to chase after Rasmus Ommeren. So you can just see exactly what's going to happen. But Finley and of course Jamie's gone off in the background. You can just see him around and around he goes. It looks like Noah and of course Rasmus chasing after each other. At the moment Brian up into 6th then, with Nuno 7th for the moment, but he's got a car between him and of course his title nemesis. But could be very carefully. Noah is trying to get a move on Rasmus Ommeren. He's trying to get Finley at the same time. He's got Rasmus, but he can't close down to get to Finley at the moment. But Oscar is still leading the race though. He's doing a very good job. But Brian Moncani sets the fastest lap, 128.1 at the moment. So it looks like the GTR mate Finley's trying to hold on. He's got to be careful, because he's got the likes of Rasmus and of course Noah trying to come through. The faster guys are trying to come through. But Finley drops down to 3rd with Noah in 2nd place at the moment, and it seems the infamous corkscrew was causing a bit of issues in lap number 1. But on to lap number 3 we go then. So the Rooster versus Brian Moncani. At the moment it looks like Rasmus and Finley are going to have a bit of a battle. They're almost side by side. Brian Moncani is thereabouts in 5th place now. He's got to be careful. Finley and Rasmus, Noah's gone wide. What's happened to him there? He's got to be very careful. Got to be very careful on the brakes. He makes slight contact with Rasmus. got to be very careful. It's getting a bit tense now. It's getting a bit tense. The title nemesis is all side by side with each other. This could be very carefully. He got to pin it just right to get in the positions. It seems that Oscar is there leading the race though. Rasmus second with Noah and Brian third and fourth respectively. Finley is still there. The Rooster with that penalty. I think he nearly had a tap from Nuno there. And that was getting a bit close between the pair of them, but I tell you what, it is getting very much a bit of a unsettled battle at the moment. It looks like in the meantime that's allowing Oscar to escape. Jamie in ninth, then Dale in eighth at the moment. But I tell you what, the battle for second is literally closing up with Rasmus Omeren trying to hold on for dear life. The GTR of Rasmus versus the other GTR of Brian Montgomery with, of course, Noah trying to catch up. This could be very close. Brian's trying to make a move on Rasmus, both of them, both in GTRs, with Noah trying to split the pair of them. Noah's got to be very careful because he's alongside Brian Montgomery. He can't afford any contact because that could end up firing him into Rasmus, and then we don't want that. But Brian's trying to get back in front of Noah. He can't do it this time round because Noah gets the line into the corkscrew. But this is getting very close. You've got Nuno and of course Finley battling. The Rooster down in 7th, Dale and Jamie 8th and 9th at the moment. But Finley's trying to latch onto the back of, or Nuno's trying to latch onto the back of him. We'll see exactly how this pans out. Finley's conceded that 5th place to Nuno at the moment. But it looks like the lead of the race then is coming down at 1 lap from 5 then out of 10. We are thereabouts. But it is looking likely that Oscar and Noah's late brakes into turn number 1. That could allow Brian Mulcahy to catch him up slightly. So we'll just go back to the other cameras and we'll see exactly what's going to happen. But at the moment then, Rasmus in second, trying to chase after Oscar for that race lead. Noah is still there in third at the moment, trying to hold on for dear life. He's got his title compatriot, or his title nemesis should I say, behind him in 4th place at the moment. Rasmus is still there in second. Brian's still trying to catch up to Noah to try and say, right, we need to get the button. Brian clips that curb, he clips the sausage curb, but the battle for the race lead is going to be very carefully done. These two have actually had a bit of issues last time out at Sardegna. Just got to be careful. Rasmus is there, he's trying to take the race lead from Oscar. Oscar goes a bit wide. Noah, he almost gets collected by Noah. Brian Montgomery, oh my goodness, it's almost 3 wides going down into the final corner. Noah is trying to get there as well. Oh my goodness. Oscar goes into the wall there. That was a bit unfortunate. I think he got loose on the dirt but had nowhere to go. That's now allowed Rasmus Omeren to take the race lead. Nuno is catching up to these two between Brian Montgomery and of course Noah, both championship contenders as well as Rasmus. This is going to be a bit close for comfort. As you can tell by the sound of my voice, I am getting a bit tense. I am getting slightly worried about this championship battle because with after this race there's 4 races to go in the championship, but it's going to get very close because Brian is trying to get Noah, but Nuno is fighting Brian Montgomery for that 3rd place, the final spot on the podium. It's thereabouts, the Portuguese versus the Belgian. But he says he's got no power up the hill. It's kind of weird because it's kind of a bit of a damage limitation. Poor old Oscar clipped the dirt and then it fired him straight into the wall. Excuse me. Jamie in 9th then, so he'll start, if he stays there, we'll start in 9th, we'll start in pole position for race number 3 and it will be a rolling start. But Rasmus Omeren at the moment still pushing on for that race win, with Noah in 2nd, Brian in 3rd, with Nuno trying to catch up to the pair of them, with Finley in 5th place then, it seems to be thereabouts. But the Rooster in 6th, Dale trying to hunt him down for at least. Oh, who is that? Oscar's had a bit of a mare again. It looks to me like the Mustang is not looking very happy at the moment. He is there in 9th place now. Has he got an issue? It looks like he's got a bit of an issue there because he slowed down quite a bit. But it is looking like the Rasmus is going to try and push on. And I'll tell you what, it is getting very close. Yeah, race 3 is a reverse grid from race 2, yes, it is. So Oscar will be on pole position, so he will take the rolling start if he stays there. But Rasmus on to lap number 10, and not lap number 10, lap number 7, I do apologise. Lap number 7, Rasmus is there, still leading the race then. Noah in second, still with that fastest lap at the moment, 128.051, but Brian Moncani is still going to try and catch him up. The Belgian versus the Englishman versus the Portuguese of Nuno George, but it's a very easily continental battle at the moment, but it seems to be that Finley and his dad Andrew are currently 5th and 6th. Dale's trying to split the Osler father and son duo to get into that top 6 for the time being, but the Rooster trying to push that Evolution all the way. He says he wasn't happy with it. Brian Moncani gets the fastest lap then, 127.9 at the moment, with around 2 laps to go. Oscar, oh, he's having a bit of a mare, isn't he? Early race winner, he seems not to be enjoying the second race. He's gone a bit wide this time. He's managed to not go into the pit wall, but just as we join the battle for the race lead then, Noah is trying to put Rasmus Omeren under considerable amount of pressure. He knows he wants to get a race win. He wants to try and get a maximum point race win tonight. But is he going to be able to? Because Rasmus Omeren, these two also have had a bit of fair share of issues in the paddock and into the in the steward's room in the past, but could be very close. It could easily open up for Brian Moncani to take 2 wins from 2 if these two have a bit of a mistake. I know it kind of feels like Rasmus may have this race under control, but they go into the corkscrew. Oh, it's getting very close. It's got Brian Moncani also catching. So the 2 GTRs 1 and 3 at the moment. Nuno George in 4th then, with Finley in, of course, 5th at the moment. But we'll see exactly what's going to happen. Dale's actually got up into 6th then, so kind of knew that was going to happen. But Rasmus Omeren, however, under threat from Noah. Onto the penultimate lap we go. This could be very close. We'll see exactly how well it's going to go. Rasmus and Noah got to be careful, really got to be careful, because that could easily invite Brian Moncani to an unwanted party guest. Not that he's an unwanted party guest, he's more than welcome. Noah gets the race lead, then slams on the brakes just, but he gets wide, and that's allowed Rasmus to get alongside. Both of them now pushed. Oh, that is a bit, I don't know exactly what is going on there, because that looked like Noah had rejoined to literally try and get, but then he, in the meantime, oh my goodness gracious, this is getting stupid. I don't understand what is going on. I'm really sorry, but come on. Stop banger racing, guys. I know you're racing for a championship, but seriously. Nuno with a 5-10 penalty. I do apologise, guys, for raising my voice. It is the driving standards have somehow been let go in this race. But Nuno's got to be very careful, because that penalty may have been served a bit later into that braking zone. It looks like, oh, Dale and Finley having a bit of a battle, but I tell you what, it looks like going on to the final lap. But I tell you what, I don't know what's going to happen, because I think that will be in the stewards with the likes of Noah and Brian. It's kind of really so frustrating when you try to commentate and this happens. But we'll see exactly what is going to happen. But at the moment it is going to be very close. Rasmus will be there in first place, followed by Nuno at the moment. Brian Mongani in third place at the moment, with Noah trying to push him all the way. It looks like to me that they're going to be pushing on quite a bit, but Finley's still there in fifth place, followed by Dale, followed by the Rooster, and then of course Jamie is up into eighth. Obviously Oscar is not having a good second race. It looks like Rasmus is going to try and push on. Nuno there in second, with Brian trying to hold on for dear life from Noah at the moment. These two, yes, there might be title rivals, but it is going to be very carefully. It will probably be panned out in the steward's room. It will be thereabouts, but Rasmus will take a race win. I don't think he's going to be happy with the little contact that's been happened, but I tell you what, I've never seen so much pushing and shoving. That looked a bit naughty. But will be Nuno in second, followed by Brian, followed by Noah, followed by Dale, and of course Finley, followed by the Rooster, and of course Jamie in eighth. Oscar will be ninth then. And it will be very carefully. We'll see exactly what's going to happen. But we'll see exactly what's going to happen. But we'll see exactly what's going to happen. But just give me a second for the race results. But we'll see exactly what's going to happen between, obviously Rasmus takes the race win, followed by Nuno, followed by Brian Mulgani, and of course Noah, followed by Dale, followed by Finley, the Rooster, 7th, Jamie in 8th, followed by Oscar in 10th. Nathan Rombout unfortunately got swamped at the start, and I don't think he was really happy with that, so he did not finish sadly. Brian Mulcahy though on that number 7 with a 1:27.9 in the fastest lap there. It seems to be a lot of incidents there. It's kind of going to be looked at. We'll see exactly what's going to happen. So we'll see exactly what's going to happen for the final race of the evening. It is looking likely that we're going to be in for a cracker of a race. But at the moment, you know, it seems that there's a lot of but we'll see exactly what is going to happen for the final race of the evening. The sun is setting, so it's going to be very closely fraught for an interesting battle. So we'll see exactly what's going to happen. My voice seems to be excuse me, seems to be disappearing, but we should get race number 3 underway very shortly. So we'll see if we are good to go. It's going to be very interesting because Oscar starts on pole position. Yeah, again for race number 3 it will be, as he actually almost goes into the wall there. So it looks like he's struggling at the last corner. So we'll see what Oscar can do, followed by Jamie, followed by the Rooster, followed by Finley, and then it will be Dale. Then it'll be Noah, followed by Brian Mulcahy, and of course Noah, Nuno, and of course Rasmus at the tail of the field. But we'll see exactly what's going to happen. We've got another 10-lap encounter. We are going to be hopefully going to be in for hopefully another better clean race this time round. It looked a bit awful to start with in race number 3 and race number 2, alright, but we are getting ready for race number 3 of the night, the last one of the night, and we'll see who is going to take an astounding victory. It looks like at the moment, and a lot of the field, because they were halfway down the lap, so the latter half of the lap, but it looks like Oscar is leading the way then into Andretti for the first time, but it could be very close between Jamie and of course himself. But the Rooster up into third then, well, started third, but he's got some Finley in 4, followed by Dale, followed by Noah. Noah's got a penalty already though. He's got to be very careful that he doesn't cost him too much ground, but hopefully he's going to push on. That allows Brian up into 6th at the moment, so that's going to be very interesting to see what the guys at the back of the field, the faster guys at the back. I'm not saying that no one's really fast in this league because they are all identical, but at the moment Oscar still leads the way then up to the corkscrew for the first time. He's going to be thereabouts. Is he going to push on? Jamie in second, tried to push that BMW for a race win, followed by the Rooster, followed by Finley, and of course Dale, followed by Brian, and of course Noah, and of course Nuno, and of course Rasmus. It looks like the pair of them are going to have a bit of a nice battle at the moment, hopefully. But at the moment it looks like Rasmus is trying to catch up to the back of Nuno at the moment, but it kind of looks like Oscar is leading the way then. Hopefully you don't put the commentator's curse on him. He was doing okay in race number 2 until he hit the wall towards the end of the lap. But the Rooster there in 3rd at the moment, holding on for dear life. He's trying to get that 4-wheel drive Mitsubishi Lancer to try and push on for quite some time, it seems to be. Very close to see exactly what's going to happen, but Oscar still leads from Jamie, and of course the Rooster. Finley's under threat from Dale at the moment. Dale's trying to push on, he's going to be thereabouts, but it's going to be, seems to be very close and a bit personal with them two at the moment. But it looks like Brian Moncani is still trying to catch up. He's trying, even though he's 6th place at the moment. I think the craziness of race number 2 has got there slightly, but it's going to be thereabouts. We'll see exactly what's going to happen, but you know, Brian is going to try and push on. Noah is still there in 7th. Nuno is, he says he's struggling with power up the hill, but he's actually going okay. He's 8th at the moment, followed by Rasmus in 9th at the moment. So it looks like Jamie's got the race lead, followed by Oscar. Oh, they're going to be side by side between the pair of them. Got to be very careful because it's going to be thereabouts, but the Rooster is catching. You can just see exactly what is going to happen. Brian Moncani has a penalty in the background with the Rooster catching alongside Jamie. Dale's up into 4th then at the moment, with Noah in 6th place, followed by Brian with that penalty. He's got to be careful. He's going to have to catch up now. He's going to have to put the pedal to the floor and catch up, because he's not going to be able to catch up if he's not careful. Nuno in 8th then, followed by Rasmus 9th for the moment, but the Rooster leads the race then, with Oscar in 2nd, followed by Jamie 3rd, and a flying charging Dale in 4th at the moment. Looks like Jamie and of course Oscar. Jamie gets there into 2nd, but it's going to be thereabouts, so it could be easily one way or another. Noah is thereabouts. He's trying to catch up to Finley at the moment for that 5th place, but it's going to be very carefully pits out as Finley's trying to get alongside Dale for 4th place. He gets it done, which makes it a stellar move, but Dale's lost out to Noah for the time being. But Brian Moncani also trying to get the move on to Dale into the corkscrew. Side by side between the pair of them, it almost could have ended in tears, but luckily it hasn't. Dale's trying to push on, but Brian thinks about it. Brian gets alongside the body armour Mustang, but he's back into 6th place then is Brian, with Noah just a car length ahead of him, trying to get up to Finley into 4th place. But Noah's got to be very megally careful, because he can't afford any mistakes this time, because you know, after tonight it is 3 races left at the mountain at Bathurst. Jamie tries to think about overtaking the Rooster into Andretti, thinks about it. Noah's still 4th at the moment, so he's trying to get away from, of course, Brian Moncani, but Brian Moncani is a car behind him at the moment. See how Rasmus Holmgren is doing. He's currently 9th at the moment, so race 2 winner is thereabouts, but Brian has dropped back a bit as he had a penalty again. Or is he? No, he's still there in 6th place, trying to catch up to of course Finley at the moment. It seems to be very close between the Mustang and the GTR at the moment. It seems to be quite an interesting memento, but Noah is still there in 4th at the moment. Oscar 3rd at the moment, with the Rooster and Jamie battling as they go up towards the corkscrew. This could be Jamie's chance to try and get a first win of the season. And the BMW is obviously trying to be knocking on the door of the top step, but he's still there. The Rooster is trying to push on. The Rooster is actually trying to push on for a race win here tonight at Laguna Seca. No, with that penalty, got to be very carefully now picked out. Dale back into 6th then. Brian Moncani now 7th, with Nuno in, of course, trying to get that 7th place from Brian Moncani into the final turn then. It looks like, oh, it's near enough a bit of contact between the pair of them. but it seems to be thereabouts. But we'll see exactly what happens. But it is going to be thereabouts. But Brian Moncani is still going to be pushing on, trying to get up towards Noah, but Dale gets alongside Finley. They both have a bit of a touch there. One to lap number 5 then, so we're halfway through the final race of the evening now, with Jamie leading the race then from the Rooster, followed by Oscar in 3rd, with Noah in 4th at the moment. Dale's still there, he's got a gaggle of cars behind him. He's got Brian Moncani and Finley. Brian gets the move done for 5th place though. However, that was an absolute astounding move. He's got to be careful because Finley's there. Rasmus is also there with Dale. Seems to be a lot of interest between these guys at the moment. Nuno's dropped back to 9th then. Dale's trying to make a move on Finley into the corkscrew. Has he got it? Yes, he has. So that's dropped Finley down to 7th for the moment, with Rasmus 8th now. So it's going to be very carefully picked out. Is it going to be an easy move between Finley and Rasmus? Rasmus has that GTI. He's got to be very careful where he's going to pick the move, because he's been in a bit of bother with the stewards last time out. But he gets that move done on Finley. He's sandwiched between himself and Nuno. But what has happened to the Rooster? He's dropped down to 4th with Oscar and Noah 2nd and 3rd now. With the Rooster trying to battle for that final spot on the podium. Oscar goes a bit wide, with the Rooster trying to just take advantage of that 3rd place at the moment. Brian Moncani 3rd or 5th rather. He's got 2 cars ahead of him in his title between him and as well as Noah. Noah is in 2nd place at the moment. He'll be chasing after Jamie. But I tell you what, it's going to get very close between Oscar and the Rooster. The Rooster is trying to go alongside, but there's a lot of wheel skids and stuff like that as Oscar and the Rooster that make slight contact. I think that will be looked at, because that was obviously trying to push and overtake at the same time. But seriously, oh my goodness, what is going on? So the Rooster gets a bit of a tap from Oscar, but then as he tries to rejoin, Brian Moncani gets into the back of the Rooster. So Brian Moncani now up into 3rd then, with Jamie leading the race then. On to lap number 7 we go. So we'll see exactly what's going to happen between himself and Oscar up into 4th then, with the likes of Rasmus 5th, Finley 7th, Dale in 6th at the moment, with Nuno 8th, the Rooster 9th. He's not going to like exactly what's happened between him and Oscar, but at the moment Nuno, got to be careful with around excuse me, 3 laps to go in this race then. So Brian Moncani still in 3rd, with Noah 2nd. Jamie's going to be pushing on for that first win, I'm sure, but he's going to be thereabouts. He's got to be very careful with that Texaco BMW. Noah is still thereabouts. Oscar in 4th then. Rasmus 5th now, with Finley and of course Dale almost there, with Nuno trying to battle. But it looks like there's a lot of interest between these two at the moment, between Finley and of course Dale. At the moment it seems that it's going to be thereabouts, but Nuno is also there. Nuno is also trying. He says he hasn't got speed up the hill, but he actually has. He gets, oh my goodness, he gets 2 for 1, but then has to overshoot the corkscrew, which in turn then ends up nearly hitting Finley and of course Dale. That will be definitely looked at, because that was a bit of an unsafe rejoin onto the circuit. I wasn't expecting that, but it could have been a lot nastier. But Oscar 4th then, Rasmus in 5th at the moment, on to lap number 8 then, so we're not even far away from the race finishing. Brian Moncani has to push on. He's around 2.9 seconds now from his title nemesis Noah at the moment. Noah is in 2nd. Jamie's still leading the race then, 1.6 seconds at the moment, with Brian Moncani still 3rd. Oscar and Rasmus still battling away. These two have had issues as well this season, but it's going to be thereabouts. I don't know exactly how these races have been survivable, because from what we saw in race 2 looked like it was a bit of a wreck fest, but it's yet to be seen. But Oscar and Rasmus are thereabouts. Rasmus has got to be very careful, because last time out he found himself in really hot water with the stewards, and he does not want to be doing that again. He tries to make a move to Oscar into the corkscrew, gets it done, but then he goes wide out of the corkscrew. Oscar gives him a bit of a tap to try and straighten him up, but I don't think that was really exactly how it should have been panned out. But we'll see exactly what's going to happen, because Oscar is there 4th at the moment, Rasmus in, of course, 5th place at the moment, Dale 6th, Finley in, of course, 7th, with Nuno 8th at the moment, with that 4/10 penalty, but he's now going to be 9th because the Rooster will get alongside him. So onto the penultimate lap we go then. Jamie still leads the race then. He's there in the race lead. Excuse me. With Noah in 2nd, followed by Brian Mongani at the moment 3rd. Oscar 4th, with Rasmus chasing him down. Looks like the GTR's trying to chase the Mustang down as best as he can. He knows exactly what he needs to do, but they've got to be very careful that they don't find each other in a very serious damage limitation, because that could easily allow the likes of Dale and of course Finley and of course the Rooster to catch them up. But at the moment it's going to look like it could be very close. But as the battle for the race lead, it's around 1.2 seconds between Jamie and of course Noah. Noah is still trying to push on. He's trying to get, as I say, he's trying to get a race win tonight here at Laguna Seca. You know, he's got his title nemesis Brian Mulcahy behind him. Oscar is still there in 4th at the moment, into the court, out of the corkscrew, but he's got Rasmus chasing him down. Dale 6th with Finley 7th, Nuno 8th with the Rooster 9th at the moment. But onto the final lap we go for the final race of the evening then. It is going to be very close. Is Jamie going to escape and get his first race win of the season? Brian Mulcahy in 3rd with Rasmus, or Oscar has lost it into 7th. I don't know exactly what happened. I don't know whether there was any contact or there was just a slight issue. Nuno in 8th, then Rooster in 9th, but it looks like the race lead has come down to a slight bit of a gap, but it's between the likes of Noah and Jamie at the moment. It seems to be thereabouts, but it's going to be very close to see exactly what's going to happen. It's going to be thereabouts, but we can see how close it's going to get. But it's going to get very close and personal. We'll see exactly what's going to happen, because Jamie is going to have to try and hold on. He's got Noah pushing him. The Milky Way machine versus the Texaco machine. They're almost side by side at some point. But is Jamie going to hold on for his first race victory? He could be. He's thereabouts, but he's got to be very careful, because Noah is going to try and take him. Oh my goodness. Noah's got him, but Jamie gives him a bit of a tap out the final corner, and Jamie gets the race lead and about to take the checkered flag in style. With Noah in 2nd, Brian Mulcahy will have to settle for 3rd. Dale 4th, with Finley and Rasmus in 5th and 6th respectively, with Nuno in 7th, Oscar in of course 8th, and the Rooster in 9th. And it is going to be a very carefully picked out. I think it's been a bit of a damage limitation for 2 races. Race 2 and 3 have been a bit of a topsy-turvy, but we'll soon find out exactly what's going to happen at Bathurst next week, because it is going to be the final round of the championship. But the Rooster will take 9th place then. He's not happy. He's driving himself into the wall, which isn't very going to do him any credentials, but we'll see exactly what is going to happen, because you know, Jamie takes the victory, but you know, it may go against him, but we'll see. But he takes a race victory for the first time this season, and it will be very close, and it will be very close and personal, but I will quickly get the replays and race results, and we'll see exactly what is going to happen for the last race of the season at Bathurst Mount Panorama this time next week. Jamie takes an astounding victory from, of course, Noah, followed by Brian Moncani, followed by Dale. Finley in 5th, of course. He gets a very stellar 5th. Rasmus 6th. Nuno in 7th, followed by Oscar 8th, followed by the Rooster in 9th. Noah gets the fastest lap on lap number 2. No one actually really touched that fastest lap. He got a 1:27.3. I'll tell you what, it is going to be close. I can't wait to see exactly what is going to happen at Bathurst. Until then, guys, I've been Hoppers for Eldar Sim. I'm going to rest my voice because I have a feeling it is going to go. But I will see you guys very soon for the MMCC on Monday, as well as the final round of WTSC on Friday at Bathurst Mount Panorama. It is going to be absolutely fantastic. I cannot wait to see what's going to happen. So until then, guys, have a good weekend. Take care. Ta-ra.